One of Finland's 1,000 lakes, and in the little country town of Jyväskylä, preparations for the rally of that name are well in hand, although to the casual observer, things still look pretty normal. But in this hotel car park, an unofficial centre for kids and cars, there's a fair amount of organised chaos. Fords, led by rally manager Bill Barnett, are here early. They've 3 twin cams, for Bengt Soderstrom and Gunnar Palm, Ovi Anderson and Arnie Nordland, and a young economics student from Helsinki, Hannu Mikkola, and co-driver Anssi Järvi. Saab are here in strength with Lampinen, Arrhenius and Bromark. And of course no 1,000 Lakes would be complete without the master, Timo Mäkinen and his Cooper S, winner for the last 3 years. There are the last-minute flaps. Seats, for one thing.
Yeah, well, we can adjust it. We've got feet. So the thing is, it wants another frame.
Seat okay?
Yes.
Agnes, too heavy.
Pardon?
Agnes, too heavy.
No.
We have to change.
You're absolutely sure? Because, you know, we can't do anything on the rally. There won't be time.
The thing is, what lights do you want? I was thinking about these CVA flat fogs that Ovi's got on his car.
Spit and polish, and a few minor adjustments for BMC. Tyres on a job like this are all important. Adhesion on these roads is hard to come by. And BMC even go to the trouble of hand-cutting an extra tread pattern to get just a little bit more. And so to scrutineering, held a mile or 2 out of town. There's Viro's Honda in the front of the queue. Advertisements are not only allowed, they're compulsorily stuck there by the organisers to pay for the rally. Lights, as always, keep the scrutineers busy.
Down, hey, down.
Obviously in the newspaper business. Porsche have only one official entry. We ask Huschke von Hanstein why.
Well, we really came to please Toivonen because I think he can't be beaten in the championship anymore, but as it is his native event and he's a local hero on the side of Timo Mäkinen, I think we should have given him a car. That's why we came over with one car while the other Porsches ended up private ones.
There are 2 Abingdon cars for Timo and Ittebring. BMC's competitions chief, Peter Browning, tells us about the rally.
It's very, very fast special stages, this. The ground is very much different from that which we cover normally. Most of it's very, very smooth, and all the little stones are very small pebbles, and it's just like driving on ball bearings, and even the likes of you or I, the normal driver, could put a car sideways at 20 miles an hour. So this is really why the Finns are so good.
Peter, what are Timo's chances of making it 4 times running?
Well, he said yesterday when he tried his car that it was the fastest and the best handling minute that we've ever provided for him. He's been practicing like crazy for the last 10 days, really hard. He knows all the stages by heart without pace notes. He can drive over them. He knows his way. He knows every hump. He knows every bend. I think we're very confident. It's a rally where driving skill and the strength of the motor car more than power probably pay off, and Timo is unquestionably the expert out here.
Why does a Finn always win the 1,000 Lakes? Here's Ford's Bill Barnett.
Oh, I think it's knowledge of their own roads. They've been driving on them. They learned to drive out here at a very early age. And I don't think anybody outside of Scandinavia has a ghost of a chance of winning this event.
Now Hannu Mikkola gives us a demonstration of just why this is true, to an accompaniment of bouncing stones. And he tells us how he does it.
To second gear, to third, and now I'm painting left-hand corner, not so bad, going 100 kilometers an hour, next left, going full, and then I'm painting jump, here is coming, fourth gear, now it's long, right-hand corner, take a little easier, so. And now very bad left. Very bad left. And then chasing again, third gear. And left hand pull.
Well, that's what it's like to drive with Mikkola. Now a front wheel expert, Timo Mäkinen.
And now it's medium left again. Now, I put sideways underway first gear, and changing second gear, changing third gear. And now it's coming long right-hand corner. Put it car a little bit sideways. Keep it out. And put it second gear, out any clutch. I'm using left foot braking. Putting first gear, medium left, sideways. And full power, second gear. Jump. Up. And third gear. Brow. Jump. Jump. Very fast left, and plenty sideways, and underway. Good. And sideways again. All time using left foot braking and keeps the car balance with brake. Third gear. Short corner. If you have short corner, don't put the car never sideways. You lost your time. Sideways again. Jump.
Watch this turn, handbrake and all. Now he's on his way back. Front and rear drive. Different techniques, clearly shown by the footwork. Hannu Mikkola, almost like a weekend driver. Clutch foot relaxed except for changes. Timo tap dancing with brake and throttle. And so the 1968 Rally of the Thousand Lakes begins with special stage number 1. Down the dual carriageway, round, and up the other side. One corner off tarmac onto dirt worries most of the competitors. Some are slow but competent. Some tentative. And others, frankly, ridiculous. There's Rano Altonen's sister, Mayata. And Timo Mäkinen's brother, Tapio. That's Atso Aho in the third team Mini. Hannu Mikkola. Leo Kinnunen, Porsche. Göteborg in the Works Mini. Let's see them round that bend. Aho. Mikkola. Göteborg, full lock. Simo Lampinen, neat as usual. Bengt Soderstrom, he hits a curb on this test. Toivonen, front wheels locked, drops a clanger. And Timo. But for style, nobody really matches Kozlov in the Moskvich. You might almost think that Russo-Finnish relations aren't too good. He's been wanting to do that for years. Not a very good start for Kozlov, and it'll take more than a hammer and sickle to get the dents out. Night is closing in fast as the later numbers leave Jyväskylä and make their way, at 30 miles an hour, the Finns are dead keen on speed limits, to the first of the 34 stages, 6 of the original 40 having been cancelled. The police look benignly on. The public road is closed and there's not a radar trap in sight. Onni Vilkas there is a veteran of Finnish rallying. Aho. Mikkola. Kinnunen. He'd been fastest on stage 1. But down the road, Bengt Soderstrom is having his front torsion bars put straight after the curb incident in Jyväskylä. The precious minutes are passing. Bengt is furious with himself. Timo, himself in alternator bother, goes by. He's to be third fastest on the stage. Only Porsches will beat him. Toivonen is quickest, Kinnunen second. Now Bengt is nearly in the hunt again. He's about 20 minutes down, but he catches it up by the first time control, 110 kilometers on. Fantastic. Stage 3 now, and the first of the famous Finnish jumps. A Timo-ism that's become a part of rally language everywhere. But now it's night, and the rains have come, turning the loose dust into a skating rink quagmire of greasy ball bearings. At Haya, time control 4, it's a miserable job for the marshals and the cameramen. And you call it sport. With the rain, mechanical bothers increase. Alternators are the main offenders. It's early days yet, but Hannu Mikkola is lying first overall with 3,396.6 penalties. Lampinen is second. Lucenius Renogordini third. Toivonen is out with a broken drive shaft. Total stage times in seconds are added as penalties. There's no bogey to beat. Soderstrom checks in. Passing the control twice isn't against the rules, so he turns to fill up. Timo, his alternator fixed, is 14 minutes and 720 penalties down on the road. He's in 38th place, but his stage times are still well up. And so it's day again. Still raining, and by now they're in mud up to their armatures. Simo Lampinen is second overall. Risto Ainto, Volkswagen. At Hämeenlinna, the weather's no better as they check in at time control 6 at 5:30 in the morning for a 40-minute pause and speed test round the scale electric type circuit. This should have been a spectator fiesta, but at this time in the morning, in this weather, with no more than a misty rain-swept track to peer at. Only a sauna-conditioned Finn could possibly enjoy it. Mikkola is solidly in the lead, 39 penalties clear of Lampinen. Over Anderson is 7th, Soderstrom 8th, so it's Ford's for the team prize at the moment. Kinnunen, 39, is fastest in this 5-lap figure-8 sprint. Mikkola is 2nd, so when they get close, it's a good old dice. The cars start 5 at a time at 3-second intervals. Lampinen, Escort GT. Bengt Soderstrom, twin cam. Whoops, and down the escape road for one of the GTs. Line Porsche is 3rd quickest. Soderstrom 4th. Poor Timo's unhappy rally is about to end. He strips first gear at the start, and there's no hope. Imagine Timo letting a Volvo get away with it like this. Once, perhaps, but not twice. Not everybody does get away with it without a panel-beating job to pay for. That's the Isuzu Bele of Osmo Makala. Bad luck, lad. And now it's back to the mud and slime on stage 22. It looks like dust, but it certainly isn't. Stone, sand, and water is the recipe. Watch your legs, Auntie. Here comes Mikkola. You have to be tough to enjoy Finnish rallies as a spectator. There's a funny little stage in Lahti. It's up a concrete road, round the council sand pit, and back down a steep, loose slope to the road again. 2 laps each. One or two competitors have bothers. Mrs. Pentti Airikkala in her Isuzu for one. And for him, Mikkola has a positive brainstorm. There's Aho in the remaining Team Mini. Not content with making a fist of it first time, Hannu nearly does it again. But Ford fortunes are retrieved with a neat run by Bengt Soderstrom, 2nd fastest to Kinnunen's Porsche. And so the dreary, muddy way leads on, past the many Finnish lakes which the unkind suggest just fell one day from the ruddy sky. We're near to stage 25 by now, considered by most of the drivers to be the hardest one of the lot. All yumps and bumps and battering. A yump's all right if you yump straight. But yumping crooked is harder. Sometimes too hard to take at all, like Karppinen and his revolving Volvo. Watch. Happily, neither driver is damaged, but for a second or two, fire looks like finishing off what was once a very nice motorcar. But all's well, and it's clear the stage for the next car down, and that's Soderstrom. Watch him yump. Hannu Mikkola is well in the lead at the start of stage 27. It would have been a lovely picture in the right weather. Anderson is 6th. Soderstrom 3rd. The Fords are 1, 2, 3 on this stage, with Bengt fastest. Simo Lampinen, after a night of slipping clutch bother, held at bay incidentally with washing powder and Coca-Cola, is driving brilliantly, but he's lost second place to an unknown Finnish driver, Pentti Airikkala, in an Isuzu Belay. There's line. Kinnunen is out. Now the way leads back to Jyväskylä, a rest period and another stage in the rain, and oh gosh, that rain. It's turned the route into a quagmire, made driving a nightmare, soaks the spectators, and spots the camera lenses so quickly that wiping does no good at all. In the Park Ferme, Taru Katonen, Renault Gordini, and boy is she fed up. Simo, his clutch having left no Coca-Cola for his child, gives a driving lesson, in spite of worries about a broken suspension which can't be welded until he's on the road again. Sleep comes naturally to Kirsti Airikkala and Eva Hinnunen. But it isn't long before the remaining 51 are off again, with another half night in prospect. Stage 31. Already it's dusk and conditions get worse all the time. Hannu Mikkola still leads the field in fine style, with boot leader flapping. Anderson is 5th overall, but is soon to go out with a broken diff, putting paid to Ford's team prize hopes. Soderstrom, 4th, is pulling out all the stops to catch Lampinen. Aho scents a good placing. Simo, his suspension fixed, is still 3rd. Before the stage is over, it's darkening. Pentti Airikkala is still holding off the mighty twin cams and buzzing Saabs. Here he comes. The sparks fly. The campfires burn and the cars hammer away into the night through to stage 40, the virtual end of the rally. The ladies look as fresh as paint. But bad news comes that Pentti's great drive has ended in a roll only 2 stages from the end. Without personal damage, Mrs. Airikkala is happy to know. Aho has been going like the clappers, trying without avail to catch Soderstrom. But all eyes are on Hannu Mikkola, 2.5 minutes ahead, and only a main road section left to the official finish in Jyväskylä and his first international rally win. The young economic student and his co-driver, Anssi Järvi, have carved a well-deserved place for themselves in Finland's rally story. Meanwhile, in Jyväskylä, the crowds at the finish wait to cheer them in at the end of a drive which has established Hannu Mikkola as a truly worthy member of the distinguished company of Flying Finns. What a moment for him. And for Anssi Järvi, who has only to hand in that road book to win. For Simo Lampinen, a well-deserved and well-driven 2nd. And for Saab, the manufacturer's team prize. For Bengt Soderstrom and Gunnar Palm, a spectacular 3rd after their trials and tribulations. They've driven without an alternator for a day and a night, thanks to a constant supply of batteries. And for Aho, 4th place. A Mini had to be up there somewhere. But what sort of time did you two have?
Very funny time, I think.
What do you mean by funny?
Yes, we have...
we like this kind of sport.
You certainly seem to do pretty well at it.
That time.
Hannu is excellent driver.
And that seems to be quite an understatement.
Thank you. Thank you. You've done the safari many times, haven't you?
Yes, it's my 6th time now.
What do you know about the route this year? Is it sort of easy or difficult, or what?
No, it's mostly you can say more or less the same as it was last year. Some small changes, I don't know. But people say that the road is rougher this year from the rain. We will see that now if it is so or not.
The intention today is to start at Machakos here and to follow the route round the back of Mount Kenya, which could be very interesting if it rains today, as it looks as if it's going to. To continue across here, stay tonight somewhere in the Nyeri area, and then tomorrow follow the same day's route back into Nairobi.
And then on Monday, what route are you going to recce on Monday?
Monday we're going to start from the Ngong Hills here, just outside Nairobi, and set off to do the whole of the first leg of the event, which is the Black Line, all the way around here, which will take 5 days, we expect. We should be back on Friday if all goes well.
So how are Ford chances this year, compared with previous years?
Well, as you know, the Escort has steadily progressed over the years, and it's the best Escorts we've ever had, and the Escort has always been a competitive car for this type of event, so we'll see.
This is your first safari in a Ford?
Yes, yes.
So how do you fancy your chances?
From my testing result, I think we have as good chance as all the others. Maybe better.
Who's going to be the main competition?
The Safari Rally, I think. It's a long way, and the weather's still unsettled, so anything could happen.
The Ford drivers leave Nairobi for their first look at the route of the Silver Jubilee Safari Rally. Ahead of them, 6,000 kilometers of dust, mud, rocks and river crossings through the bush country of Kenya. During the next 2 weeks, the world's top professionals in Fords, Lancias, Datsuns, Peugeots and Colts will cover every inch of the route. As well as carefully noting every bend and every hazard, they'll be testing brakes, suspensions, transmissions and tyres in preparation for the world's toughest motor rally. The sharp rocks on roads like this can tear holes in tyres with ease, and on the Safari you can't afford time for punctures. This is the first of many suffered during the recce of the northern leg. Too many delays like this cost too much time when the overall average rally speed has to be more than 60 miles an hour, and Ford will be treating the matter very seriously. Back in Nairobi, Ford mechanics Gordon Spooner and John Smith are enjoying lunch in the sun while the drivers tackle the recce, but not for long.
What the hell is that? Okay, what you doing now? Keep it cool.
Oh, Mr. Spooner, here you are now.
Hello? Hello? Yeah? Hello, Ari. What's happened?
Ari Vatanen, on his recce of the northern leg, has a problem.
You need a new prop shaft and radiator. Where are you? Embu.
All right, we're going to see what spares we got, and we'll phone you back from Big Preston's, and we'll get out there as soon as we can, okay?
First level, we hit the unseen stone on the road, so that high at least, and you know, it hit the jump cart, and when car landed on the stone, you know, it hit the prop shaft and bent it. And what else, radiator started to leak, but we managed to fix it. And it's drivable now, but I think we have got to go back to Nairobi and fix it probably.
So you'll go back to Nairobi and start again tomorrow, will you?
Yeah, after we have had a nice weekend, you know, I don't think so. Our union has said that we can't drive this time of week, you know.
Yeah.
It's Friday night now, yeah.
Your union?
Yes. Yeah, our union.
Rally drivers union or not, the dusty hillsides are still echoing to the angry roar of the other escorts. There's a lot of ground to cover before they get back to Nairobi.
So how was it then? Was it?
Long way. It's been quite interesting actually. Some good roads, very good roads, very fast. The roads are quite smooth.
You want to get some stones throwing through my window?
Oh dear, who did that, Roger?
No.
Children.
Oh, no. It's unusual actually, because usually the natives are very friendly, aren't they?
Yes, but you know, stones throwing they like very much. I don't know why.
It's all right though.
I think we have to protect the window in a better way, maybe.
What were you doing looking at the dampers then? Well, what's happening here?
We feel them are maybe a little bit too hard.
Ah.
So we'll maybe change and try a new setting.
Is it the same on yours?
A bit too hard, yes. So next round we will do testing again.
What are you going to do now?
Have a beer.
The drivers can relax in comfort, but co-drivers like Jim Porter don't have it so good. Before he can get to the bar or the pool, the recce pace notes have to be neatly and accurately drafted.
Ready?
There's this myth about no European can ever win this event. I think that 2 Europeans have won it just recently. Why is this? Why is it so difficult for a European to win it?
Well, local knowledge and local language makes life an awful lot easier when you get stuck in the mud. And the rally is certainly a game of luck and chance as well as driving and car preparation. It's one big event.
How is it different from a European rally?
Well, there are no special stages to start with. It's a special stage from start to finish, all 6,000 kilometres of it. And the organisers seem to set their times for each section by taking the fastest man over each one last year, then taking a bit off for luck. And therefore it makes every section virtually impossible, and it's a road race and not closed roads. It is really quite unique nowadays.
Come on, for Christ's sake. Then let me eat the bloody thing. Come on, let the bloody thing go.
With the recce completed, the travel-stained cars return, and it's good news about the puncture problem.
Well, picked up a nail, gone straight through the steel, but I don't think anything would stop that. I mean, the steel braced tyre will stop a rock or something like that, sharp flints, but it certainly won't stop a nail as sharp as that. Okay, well, it's the first one in the steel, so we found out why.
Is this the answer to the tyre problems that we have?
I hope so. On the northern leg, they'd had quite a few punctures. Bjorn had quite a few, I think. You said 5, did you?
5 in one day.
5 in one day with the ordinary textile tyre. But now they've had these steel bolted tyres. On the southern leg, they've had no punctures. Just this one. So hopefully that'll cure it.
Complete southern loop on one set of rear tyres, and that's the only puncture.
How have you found the route?
It's not too bad. Some places bad. We have spent some hours in deep rivers. So I'm still wet in my back.
What happened?
No, we get stuck in water, you know. The water come up that high, so the whole car was full of water. Good experience.
In the garage, the drivers get their first look at the cars with which they must each try to beat the opposition and the safari itself. Perhaps with punctures in mind, Bjorn Waldegaard tries the jack.
Do you know what settings these are at?
They're right. And before you shut the door, you have to open the port light because it just touches it just a little bit.
But that we can test tomorrow if it works or not.
Part of the thorough preparation, driving the car through a lake. It's a move which is to stand the Escorts in good stead during the rally.
How high did it come on the recce, Roger? How high up, did you say?
It was to the top of the wheel arches, and obviously the seats were full inside, and the steering wheel was about the only thing clear of the water. It's quite interesting. And with the rain we've just had, you know, it could be at least as bad as that on the event.
That's quite satisfactory, that, wasn't it?
Well, it didn't stop, so it must be all right.
Good.
What I'm going to go through a few general points, then I'm going to ask Alan or Peter if they've got any technical points they want to go through. And then I'm going to ask the co-drivers to go through vaguely the route with you and any basic problems they see. And then we will segregate the service crews, 2 service crews per co-driver, and that particular co-driver...
While Ford mechanics get their last briefing, the other teams are on final preparations too.
How many cars are adapted entering in the rally?
Yeah, 5 cars for team entry, and private entry, 1 private entry for Japan.
Cesare Fiorio, Lancia team boss.
Repair, but we've been working for about 25 days, 1 month on this rally. We hope not to do too bad.
What's happened out there? Seems to be a bit of damage to one of the cars.
It was a road accident, nothing to do with the rally. It was the first practice car we brought down, and it had an accident the day that it arrived here, so we couldn't practice at all.
Jatinder, are you going to be the first man to won it 4 times?
I shall try my very best once again.
What about the route this year? Is it a difficult route, or...?
It is going to be a very hard one, yes, sure.
Harder than ever before?
Yes.
Why is that?
Well, they have added about 1,000 kilometers to the route, and it goes into the worst parts of Kenya. And now the rains have started. I think it's going to be rather dicey.
But presumably this will favour your own chances, I would have thought.
Well, we are not very powerful. Our cars are not so fast as compared to the Fords and the Stratos and the Peugeots. So I think we shall even up the chances.
Timo Mäkinen for Peugeot.
Good safari this year. Of course, the rain can do some stupid things for rally, but it's very rough route, and I think this best safari so far.
I don't think the fastest car will win. The most reliable car will win. Sure.
72 winner Hannu Mikkola.
I think my teammates will do very well, I think. And I have seen Fords, and they look very well prepared.
Kenyan ace Vic Preston Jr.
I've driven a Ford for a long time, and they must be the best prepared Fords I've ever seen from Bora. And I think that all going well, and the weather being a bit different to what it is now, maybe a bit of rain here and there, the Escort should be able to win the safari.
A bustling, colourful crowd for the start of the rally at the Kenyatta Conference Centre on Thursday afternoon. Waldegaard leads the field away. It's raining and the sky promises more to come. Next away is Britain's Roger Clark. Simo Lampinen in the first of the 3 Lancia Stratos races. Once out of Nairobi, it isn't long before they hit the first really wet conditions. Roger Clark obviously means business. Bjorn Waldegaard's a little more cautious and takes to the water halfway through. Simo Lampinen changes his mind about taking it flat and settles for half in, half out. Sandro Munari tries to avoid the water altogether and almost succeeds. Three times winner Joginder Singh tries to avoid it too, but gets into uncharacteristic difficulties. It's Jean-Pierre Nicolas in the Peugeot who has the most individual approach, though it's hardly the quickest. Finish ace Ari Vatanen in Ford Escort number 14, having his first taste of the safari. He treats the water with evident respect. Before long, dry roads give Ari a chance to return to a more characteristic pace.
Left minus.
The young Finn was taking his first safari very seriously. He was bitterly disappointed when rear axle trouble combined with appalling weather conditions to eliminate him on Saturday. Not only Ari was to have trouble, Hannu Mikkola was to retire even earlier. Vic Preston Jr. in Escort number 18, soon to hold second place in one of his best performances in 7 years of safari driving. The dark horse of the rally, Hannu Mikkola in Datsun number 17. Devinder Singh, teammate and brother of Joginder. Darkness falls on the first night. It will be one of the worst and wettest nights in safari history. Fewer than half of the 68 starters will survive the rain, floods, and seas of mud. Good Friday dawn at Iten in the Cherangani foothills.
Well, we've had about 8 inches of rain in the last 4 days here. 2 nights ago we had 3 inches, And then last night, maybe about 1.5 inches. And then last night it rained for the whole night, about 2.5 inches again.
Or team manager Peter Ashcroft.
Well, I believe Harry's diff's gone somewhere. Also, Roger's stuck with a water pump fell off the engine. So we've got a few problems.
What about the others?
I don't know about Bjorn. Last I heard of Bjorn, he'd gone into an area where it was virtually impassable. But he was leading on the road, so whether we can get a mud car to him, I don't know.
What about Vic, the other one?
Vic was going all right last time I heard.
So do we assume Roger and Harry are definitely out there?
No, and they were trying to do something for Roger, I think, and somebody's going to try and sort out Harry. Well, there's lifeless hope.
Well, I have a 1300 GT, and I use it here regularly. I've only been stuck once in 5 years now, but I find the wheels just a bit too small on the back. But other than that, no problems at all.
So Bjorn and Harry shouldn't have much bother around here then?
I hope not. I want to see the Fords do well, of course. That's my car.
Bjorn Waldegaard arrives at I-10, already rally leader by more than half an hour.
Okay. Norman, check the diff in case it's leaking. Have you got a wheel spar?
Take away the mud from the way.
Mud clogging the wheel arches is a problem.
Harry's had a diff go. And
Nothing's what I have to be worried for.
Roger's had a water pump fall out. But
I-10 passage control and the first of the Lanciers. The car stops on the driest patch the driver can find, while the co-driver picks his way through the mud to check in. The set average speed of the rally, over 60 miles an hour, includes all stops, and there's no time for gossip. Jean-Pierre Nicolas, third behind the escorts of Waldegaard and Preston Jr. The Peugeot's broken windows have been caused by fun-loving but stone-throwing villagers. Co-driver Jean Todt jumps back in and they're off. Voice of Kenya Television writes at the point of action. Books say the equator is hot and dry, but this was it on Good Friday afternoon, and just look at the weather. The escorts of Waldegaard and Preston still lead, with both drivers showing incredible mastery of the conditions. Munari's Stratos chasing the leaders hard. He can only hope that trouble will hit the escorts as he wipes at the windscreen. Saturday dawns and it's still raining. Near Matatani, Waldegaard hits more floods and again uses caution. While Hannu Mikkola, now fourth in his Datsun, uses a more dashing approach. So does Munari, and look at the water inside the spotlights. Ever-cheerful Scotsman Andy Cowan in fifth place and leading the Colt Lancers. At Sagana, on the edge of the Aberdare Mountains, the rains have turned a quiet stream into a lake 500 yards across. Local children wade out to mark the road as Shinozuka's Lancer tackles the crossing. He's lucky. The leaders hit this lot in the dark.
Brian. Brian, how many minutes? How many minutes?
10 before we due in. We can afford another 7.
Before the run into Nairobi at the end of the northern leg, safari veteran Bert Shanklin has time in hand.
Pardon? What have they got to do?
Well, we're doing, you see, we changed rear shock absorbers and front shock absorbers at the halfway stage. And we've got time in hand at the moment before we book into the next control, so we'll do so much now. And we can give them 7 minutes, whatever they want to do. We'll have to leave here in 7 minutes' time. That's what it critical means, to get to the control in time.
Have you had any serious problems?
Pardon?
Have you had any serious problems?
None at all.
How has the night been?
Not too tight, not too tight. Very slippery and wet. But, you know, we've hardly had the windscreen wipers off since we started. It's gone. The worst bit, I think, was the very beginning at Suswell. You know, that terrible bog-up, because it must have depleted the fuel considerably. After it got dark, you couldn't see where to go. I mean, we were fortunate, we got stuck, but it was still daylight, and, you know, you can see much better what to do.
How did you get out?
Pushing and jacking and putting stuff under the wheels. The main thing is we lost the road. You couldn't detect the road afterwards, but there's been so much flooding. We didn't know where it was, and we were going in the wrong direction for a while. You know, inland was supposed to.
Do you think the worst is now over?
The northern leg did appear to be the roughest in Recce, but it could still be quite rough around Machakos Way. Still a long way to go yet.
At 2 a.m. on Easter Sunday, the cars left Nairobi again for the southern leg, and some welcome sunshine and dry roads towards Mombasa. At Giriyama, a few miles from the Indian Ocean, dust is a problem again. This is Andy Cowan's Lancer lying third now. Waldegaard's Escort is still leading and sounds as good as ever. Altonen's Datsun, second overall now, but minus his back window. Vic Preston Jr. down to 6th place after electrical trouble in the night, but still strongly in the hunt. Munari Stratos, now 4th, but chasing hard as he hurls the lightweight racer to the village. (1976) Safari winner Joginder Singh, going well but a long way behind the leader in 5th place. Mazeras, where the usual floodwater is lower than ever before. Waldegaard still takes it gently. But Altonen is as dashing as ever in his hot pursuit of the leading Escort. Vic Preston's brilliant safari is nearly over. He'll be forced out in the Taita Hills on Sunday afternoon with a broken clutch and bell housing. The Ford service point at Voi is tense. A rock has fractured a brake pipe on Waldegaard's Escort, and the temporary repair, leaving him with only 3 brakes, has cost him some of his lead. As mechanics swarm over the car to complete the repair, Waldegaard, fatigue showing in his face, climbs out to stretch his legs before the last long night of the rally. While the work goes on, co-driver Hans Torzelius sorts out his pace notes.
Do you know how much time this cost you, this break?
The work took about 10 minutes, and then I think I lost a little bit, so I had to drive a bit slower, but not much. Not much.
So it's still got a good lead still?
Yeah, I think so.
Easter Monday morning. It's been another night of terrible conditions. At Nairobi, Bjorn Waldegaard's Escort still leads. But Hannu Mikkola hasn't given up yet during his best safari performance in 15 years. At Maranga, the worst is over. Only a disaster can take victory from the Escort. Bjorn Waldegaard is as good as home. His Escort speeds back to Nairobi after what must rank as the finest drive of his career. Final run-in to the finish through spectators who jam the roads up to 40 kilometres out of the city. Ford team manager Peter Ashcroft sums it up.
I think this is probably the toughest safari rally that I've ever known, and certainly even the organisers have ever known. It's been horrific weather conditions. We've gone through rivers of lakes and seas of mud. It's been absolutely fantastic. The mechanics have worked fantastic. The whole event's gone pretty well. I think they've kept 95% of the route in. But above all, Bjorn and Hans Dezelius have been absolutely wonderful.
In 25 years of safari rallies, the Silver Jubilee event has been the longest, wettest and toughest ever, with only 12 of the 68 starters reaching the finish. For Waldegaard, it is victory at the 6th attempt. It's the second win for the Ford Escort and the second too for a Swedish driver. To win makes the fatigue, the effort and the long preparation well worthwhile.
The 1978 Circuit of Ireland, and last year's winner Russell Brookes leads the field away from the Belfast start.
3, 2, 1, go!
Car 4 is Finland's Hannu Mikkola.
Raise the flag.
Now in his 11th year as a Works Escort driver, Britain's Roger Clark. And Billy Coleman, hero of All Ireland, is back at the wheel of the Lancia Stratos. The first day, and Brookes is determined to win the circuit again. Coleman completes less than a dozen stages before finally retiring mid-stage with a burnt-out clutch. Mikkola, driving with a sticking throttle, loses more than 10 minutes when he slides over a bank. Also having throttle trouble, Russell Brookes has to operate his car from under the bonnet, whilst co-driver John Brown does the steering. The special stages are meant to be closed to all normal traffic, but this Irish farmer doesn't seem to have got the message, much to the annoyance of Markku Alen in the works Fiat. Roger Clark is holding 5th place after the first night. Brookes is now storming through the field after his early troubles. Pentti Airikkala, despite his brake problems, holds 4th place. The village of Kilmakilligee Harbour is typical of the scenic stages of the famous Sunday run through Kerry. Russell Brookes proves unbeatable here and snatches the lead from McRae's Chevette. Alen finds these stages hard work. Although he led the early part of the rally, he now drops to 3rd. Clark inherits 4th place when Airikkala retires, and the English driver now sets out after Alen. Brian Nelson has trouble with an enthusiastic spectator. Brookes now has a commanding lead, but he's obviously feeling the pressure. In his efforts to grab 1st place, teammate Clark gets quicker and quicker. He's fastest on 11 of the last 14 stages. Rally leader for 2 days, Jimmy McRae, also begins to make mistakes. So does John Lyons. Brookes wins. From McRae, Alen and Clark.
Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Give him
win it 2 years running. Oh, absolutely super. I mean, this year's rally was incredibly tough. You know, even just to get here is very welcoming, but to win it as well is a sort of double pleasure. It really was a very, very tough event. Thanks, Commodore.
Back in mainland Britain, 250 miles of Welsh forests await Pentti Airikkala's Vauxhall Chevette. A confident Hannu Mikkola leaves the Cardiff start and immediately sets the pace. Russell Brookes is close behind the Flying Finn in his similar Ford Escort. Markku Alen seems intent on redesigning his Fiat.
Martin, I thought you'd like to have those anniversary, yeah.
I know you win.
Thank you, Mr. Hinchcliffe. Thank you.
I know this in
in the jumps.
As the rally moves into the magnificent flowing forests of central Wales, Clark begins to catch Alen's Fiat. But it's Mikkola who's totally in control, leading by over 2 minutes. Clark moves up to 2nd, making it a Ford 1-2. Hannu's only problem so far is a missing rear window. Roger is having a tremendous run, setting times that only Mikkola can beat. Brookes is trying to make up time after suffering a blown tyre and losing 8 minutes. The final 4 stages are on the daunting tarmac roads of the Epint military ranges, where Clark continues to pull away from the Fiat. Beating even Mikkola on the last stage, Brookes completes a climb through the field into 5th place. But the rally belongs to Hannu Mikkola and Arne Hertz.
Arne, he's better on this.
He's obviously done this once or twice before. Give him a drink. And off goes Russell.
Russell Brookes leaves the Aviemore start of the Scottish Rally. Markku Alen has come straight from the Acropolis Rally and starts the Scottish feeling very tired. Still struggling with the new Vauxhall engine specification, Jimmy McRae is obviously keen to do well on home ground. Clark is fighting for second place behind the flying Mikkola. Tony Pond finds the TR7 hard work in the bumpy Scottish forests.
That's what I was saying to you. What is it that what's doing it? Is the car kicking into a corner?
Yes.
It was, but it was the front end that was doing it then, and it's still doing it now. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, what happens? You turn into the corner and you feel the back sort of go.
The tired Alen catches up on his sleep whilst the Fiat mechanics work. Leyland seem to have troubles of their own. Pond's TR7 refuses to start. Russell Brookes' chance of victory is gone when he drops to 13th position following a short excursion. Roger Clark has also been off, dropping him into 6th place.
It wasn't a particularly hairy crash. All we did was just slide sideways into a very muddy ditch. We couldn't get any traction to drive out and we were stuck there. There was no mechanical damage to the car whatsoever. And in fact, we weren't even more than a foot off the road.
As little as that?
Yes, that's all.
How did you get out?
We were incredibly fortunate. Andy Dawson in his Datsun has not had a particularly happy rally, and he stopped and towed us out to the cost of about 2 or 3 minutes to himself, which I think is very, very generous and very sporting.
Mikkola now leads by a comfortable 8 seconds. Clark pulls back enough to finish 3rd, whilst Brookes climbs back to take 7th place. Having led from start to finish, Mikkola wins the Scottish in impressive style. Hannu Mikkola starts the Burma International with a new sponsor, Eaton's Yale lift trucks. With Markku Alen away in Finland practicing for the Thousand Lakes Rally, the German ace Walter Röhrl gets a drive in the Works Fiat. The winner of this event last year, Mikkola again sets the early pace. Fiat are using this event to test new twin compound Pirelli tyres, which they plan to use on the RAC rally. Works Vauxhall driver Chris Slater is back in an Escort for this event. Clark tackles the first of 3 tarmac stages in Glasgow's Bella Houston Park. Mikkola makes a rare mistake on stage 9 and drops to 4th place. The new rally leader is Russell Brookes. As the rain continues to team down, the rally moves into the classic forests of Argyllshire. The young Australian driver, Greg Carr, is setting regular top 10 times on his first ever British rally.
What did Hannu just say?
He reckoned that Britain was going to sink shortly with all this rain.
So what do you make of all this rain then, Hannu?
Oh, this is quite normal in this country.
So what sort of night have you had then, Roger?
Well, everything I possess is wet. It's been torrential the whole night. The forests are awash, and even with the narrowest tyres on we've got, they're still aquaplaning down the straights. Hard work.
As the 2-day rally draws to a close, Mikkola is catching the leaders. Walter Röhrl finds the new Pirellis less than satisfactory in the prevailing conditions, and his Fiat drops out of the battle for the lead. Clark's Dunlop seem better suited to the saturated forests, and he moves past the Fiat. Russell Brookes still leads the Burma. The last stage is just 4 miles long, and he starts it 13 seconds ahead of Mikkola. Surprising most of the regular drivers, Greg Carr finishes in 6th place and takes the Man of the Rally award.
What's gone wrong? Oh, when we had an ignition pack go, and it cost us 1 minute and 6 seconds to Hannu.
What's that mean then?
Depends on whose addition of time you use, but either Hannu's won by a second, we won by a second, or as we think, it's a tie. And if it's a tie, Hannu wins on the tiebreaker.
So Hannu, you've just been officially confirmed the winner. How do you feel?
Oh, I'm very surprised. I never thought that I'm so lucky person. You know, normally luck is not on my side, but it looks like this time it was. But I feel sorry for Russell. He had a very good run. He was running very well.
As the championship moves to the Isle of Man for Britain's only Pace Note International, Russell Brookes is feeling the pressure.
Well, very, very tense at the moment. I do before any rally, but before this one especially so, because really this one is the critical one in the championship. If Hannu took a win on this, there's no way I could win the championship. If we could beat Hannu, then we'd be in with a very good chance indeed.
Hannu, you've had a wonderful run of success in British rallies recently. How do you feel about this one?
Looks like it's a normal weather again. It's raining, so we are quite used to it already.
The lead is immediately snatched by Hannu Mikkola. Clark is fighting for 3rd place. Tony Pond holds a comfortable 2nd place. John Taylor also contests 3rd. Mikkola continues to extend his lead. He's fastest on 6 of the first 9 stages. Russell Brookes' car continues to cause problems, putting him in 9th position. Clark is having a steady run and now lies 5th. Pond is the only driver who can live with Mikkola, but the TR7 shows no signs of overhauling the leader. Taylor has engine problems which drop him to 4th as the crews head for Douglas at the end of the first leg. Pond's TR7 starts the 2nd loop. Clark has more experience on pace notes than any other British driver. With half the event gone, he still plays a waiting game. Pond is pursuing Mikkola, but even 300 horsepower doesn't seem to be enough. Disaster for Ford. On the 2nd night stage, Mikkola crashes.
Literally minutes ago, you passed our camera in special stage 10, and here you are standing on Douglas Promenade with the lights in the background. What's happened?
We got a front wheel puncture and we went straight off the road.
Tony, when last night did you find out that Hannu was out?
When we actually saw him beside the road. Yeah.
Right, and since then you've built up a quite incredible 2 minutes 23 seconds lead, which must make you almost unbeatable. What's going to be your policy today?
Well, I think we'll just go quite slowly on the rough stages and try and sort of quick on the open ones where the car's very good.
Clark is fastest on half a dozen of the final stages, but he seems to have left his move too late. Pond leads all the way to the finish. Clark finishes 4th to lead the Sedan Championship. Taylor drives brilliantly to take 2nd. The organisers finally exclude Brookes for servicing his troubled Escort in a control area.
Well, Tony, you've done it. Congratulations. How do you feel?
Great. Fantastic. Since I came across that last finishing line. It's never over till you sort of coast over that bit.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Bjorn Waldegaard, winner of the RAC Rally last year, leads the 168 competitors away from Birmingham to start the final round of the Sedan Championship. Shortcuts seem to be quite in order on the twisty tarmac roads of Bewdley Safari Park. This is typical of the spectator stages which make up the first day's rallying. Stig Blomqvist follows the accepted line in the Saab Turbo. Markku Alen has chosen to drive a Stratos for this event. Mikkola follows the fast line too, but the tarmac is slippier than it looks. The early leader is Walter Rall, who finds traction on these stages no problem at all, thanks to the strategic location of his co-driver. Ari Vatanen is the first driver to stick to the official route. Pond follows the majority line, but finds 300 horsepower, something of an embarrassment, and almost copies Mikkola. The Chevette was designed specifically to win the RAC rally, so Airikkala is trying particularly hard. Despite the weather, over 40,000 spectators crowd into the now traditional stage in Birmingham's Sutton Park, where Waldegaard is first through the infamous Ford. Alen takes over the lead in the manoeuvrable Stratos. He has no trouble at all with a Ford, unlike at least one of his fellow countrymen.
That's car number 6 is Ari Vatanen. And he went straight on. He didn't read that at all well. Driver, and one would expect to do
Airikkala is fifth, with all the forests yet to come. Clark leads the sedan championship and only needs a good finish on this event to win the title. He takes no risks on the first day. Russell Brookes, joint second in the championship, is also up amongst the front runners and trying hard in front of his home crowd. John Taylor demonstrates his rallycross technique.
He had a moment there.
Do you remember the first stage this morning?
Yes.
What do you remember about that?
Oh, Christ. I had an accident there 2 years ago, and it was very slippery again.
I suppose that's something to do with the camels and the lions, isn't it?
Bjorn, what sort of day have you had?
Hasn't been too bad. Slippery. I start up with a spin in the first corner of the rally.
Roger, what sort of day have you had?
As you know, it's been wet and slippery, but nothing's gone wrong and I've enjoyed it.
Do you know where you're lying?
Oh, I haven't a clue. It's early days yet.
Day 2 brings the first forest stages, but Blomqvist is soon to retire. Alen continues to lead. As they reach the longer forests, Mikkola makes his move. Pond has lost several minutes with jammed rear brakes, and he's well down the field. Brookes has also suffered locked rear brakes, dropping him out of contention for the moment. Alen leads by over a minute, the nimble Stratos still proving unbeatable in the slippery conditions. Mikkola starts setting the pace, however, and moves into second. Despite his own backseat driver, Rall drops to third. The TR7 starts to climb through the field, and Pond promises to remove his brain for the night stages. Clark is still driving steadily, well inside the top 10. Waldegaard's car suffers several minor problems, and he can't keep up with Mikkola. John Taylor's Escort is the only one fitted with fuel injection, and this is causing trouble. As Kielder approaches, Clark arrives for routine service. Airikkala is now fourth, but his Chevette has problems.
Type M&S 195 and 5 gallons of fuel.
Waldegaard is having trouble with his brakes now. He calls in for a quick check.
Fading? First stage is fading, and I thought I mean, I have brake, but you feel they are getting very, very hot. The smoke is like hell, you know.
From the front?
Yeah.
Well, do you want to leave them in?
Yeah.
Well, what about the balance? That's okay. So leave the pads as they are.
Or change the back for the
if the balance is okay,
yeah,
you can have new pads in the back again then.
Then you've got to burn that lot in.
Yeah.
But
I would leave them until next time.
Take it.
Clark's only problem is a broken starter motor, which the Ford mechanics change rapidly.
Yeah. Where is it?
Pentti Airikkala seems to be in some doubt about fitting an air filter for the long forests.
Yeah.
You keep the air cleaner on?
Yeah.
At the moment, yes?
Yeah.
The working conditions don't impress the Ford mechanics at all.
I don't want another job like that, but all right.
Clark sets out for the toughest section of the rally, 60 miles in Kielder Forest. Now the Ford team make their move. By the time they reach the Lake District, Hannu Mikkola leads by over 7 minutes. Clark is now third, whilst Elaine Stratas and the entire Vauxhall team have gone missing. Rawl is fourth, behind Clark. Most uncharacteristically, Bjorn Waldegaard has had an accident, but he still manages fastest time on this stage, and he holds second place. Brookes is back in the top 10 and having a terrific tussle with Tony Pond in the unwieldy TR7. He too moves up the order. Helping to organise Ford's complex service schedule is Graham Robson.
Whose clutch are you changing?
We're changing Roger's clutch purely as a routine operation because they get such a lot of hard work on this event that rather than have an enforced change, we've got about half an hour to spare at Newbury Bridge and we're doing it there.
Into Wales for the final 2 days, and Mikkola already looks a winner. His lead is still over 7 minutes and the next 2 places are held by his own teammates. Waldegaard himself is 2 minutes clear of the third place man, but he can do nothing about Mikkola. Pond is putting absolutely everything into his last ever TR7 drive. If he doesn't win, it won't be for want of trying. Brookes is now on his favourite stages, and he begins to close the gap on Rawl. Mikkola has no problems at all. His Escort requires only routine servicing throughout the final loop. Co-driver Arne Hertz can afford to be polite.
Good morning.
Next to arrive is Waldegaard. Brookes is still running, but Roger Clark appears to be missing.
Still maintaining your lead?
Yes, yes.
Any problems with the car?
No, not at all. It's gone very well.
Just taking nice and steady now?
Yes.
Yes, you're into third now.
Yes, we caught Walter all up on the long anti-hutch, Dave. In fact, we're quite pleased because we actually passed him on the stage, so we took the lead from him. And then he went off on the following stage, I gather, and lost about 15 minutes.
Trying to keep up with you?
I would like to think that, yes. We've not heard a lot about Tony Pond, but we gather from unofficial results that he's some way behind as well, so he must have had some problems.
Roger, you had some bad luck.
Right, so not in my year.
Well, what happened?
We had a clutch brake going through one of the stages, and we were driving without a clutch. And we came to a rather tricky corner and misjudged it and went off. But the problem, we got the car sorted out, and we tried to start, and we had no clutch, and we had no starter motor either, so we couldn't move the car.
When you say it hasn't been your year, you're leading the championships. It's not been a bad year up to now.
Well, we were looking forward to doing one on the RAC.
Very bad luck.
Life.
The penultimate stage, and Mikkola is now sure of victory. With less than 5 miles to go, he leads by almost 6 minutes. Waldegaard is equally safe in second place, 6 minutes clear of his pursuers. Brookes really storms through the last stages to make it a 1-2-3 for Ford. Pond ends his Leyland career on a high note with 4th. Last-minute engine problems dropped the unfortunate Rall to 6th. His own problems finally solved, John Taylor finishes 7th. For the 7th year running, a Ford Escort wins the RAC Rally. For Ford, it's a particularly sweet victory. A major strike at the factory forces them to rely on dealers to prepare all their cars. In the end, it makes no difference at all. Hannu Mikkola and Arne Hertz get the champagne yet again. It's their 4th international rally win of 1978 and gives them the Sedan Open Rally Championship.
My actual rallying started as far back as 71, when I bought a second-hand rally car with my cousin. Markku Alen was already doing very well in those days, and you know, I was admiring him how well he was doing, and I thought that I'm just one of those Mr. Averages, you know, for the rest of my life.
Far from being one of those Mr. Averages, today Ari Vatanen is one of the top 5 rally drivers in the world.
Well, it was 74 I actually had my first success, but for some time nothing happened until a man called John Thomas from my stake in Wales. He wrote to me because he had written a little piece of myself in, I think in Motoring News, that I would like to come to England. So he contacted local Opel dealer and wrote me saying that if I come over to England with my Ascona, he would co-drive for me, and he has got a sponsorship worth of 300 quid. And so we came here. But let's say generally, when I came to England for the first time, I mean, when you come from Scandinavia, you think that it's pretty dirty, and you know, I must say that my first impression wasn't that great before I got used to it and before I got used to English way of life. And I must say that the longer I was here, more I liked. And you know, England, so let's say if I consider any other place to live outside of Finland, it would be England.
Newcastle, England, on a dank morning in February, the start of the first round of the 1980 RAC Open Rally Championship, the Mintex.
So, Ari, typical English weather again here.
Yeah, it is. You know, it forces me to wear these galoshes again. You know, it's always like this. I can't help it.
Driving his Rothmans Rally Team car, the British International Championship is once again Ari Vatanen's goal. But to win it, he'll have to wrest the laurels from the fastest loose surface driver in the world, his compatriot Hannu Mikkola. The conditions could scarcely show off both men's techniques to greater effect.
We're going faster than we can see, so we're not going to go any quicker at all. If you find somebody's taking 3 seconds a mile off you, then you look at Vatanen and people like that, and they're taking 4, 5, 6 seconds a mile. They've either got completely different tyres or no brain.
Vatanen is being co-driven by David Richards.
So he's 2 minutes behind us. Yes. McRae is 3 minutes behind. But we don't know about Rutherford now.
Driving an Escort for the first time on an international, Willie Rutherford is the sensation of the rally.
We've been going very sensibly, actually. Just getting confidence in the car, particularly some of this really fast stuff where it's cresting and you're sweeping slightly left, for example, it just goes straight through, whereas the Mazda will be sort of pulling a cigarette lighter out and this sort of thing to equalise the balance and try and get it back out of the tree.
Henry, what sort of night have you had?
Foggy.
The fog's been the same for everyone, though.
Yes, it is, but we are not using the maps.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, the English drivers and co-drivers are using some kind of maps where they can read about long straights and things like that, and we are not using that because we don't have experience.
Some of the drivers apparently co-drivers have been reading off a map and others haven't. What does Jim do for you? Did you?
Well, where it's helpful, he tries, but you know, when it's a strange road, then you really are relying on sometimes very old maps and not to be recommended.
The marked map controversy is one which will rage all year, but the real battle in the forests will never be won from the rule books. Merely staying on the road in these conditions is, for many, something of an achievement reflected in the special stage times.
Very slow indeed. To start with because of the driver, and towards the end because of the terrible misty weather.
The driver?
Yes. You know, I take up farming.
But this is part of rallying, though.
It is part of the rallying, but you know, every coin has got 2 sides, hasn't it?
Indeed,
yes.
Indeed. But is it the mud you mean, and the rain?
Yeah, and you know, visibility 10 meters. Yeah.
It's the same for everybody, though.
Oh, exactly. You know, we don't mind, but it's very wearing.
Could Ari be suffering from fatigue, or is there something else? Jimmy McRae thinks he has the answer.
A lot of the stages have been regraded, you know, and they're very loose in the top. It's just pure mud in places. We thought about going on to narrower tyres to try and get better grip, but I think they would be even worse.
Tight timing isn't helping matters either.
I think the organisers are trying to toughen up a bit, are they? Yeah?
So, yes, they're winning as well.
The Mintex turns into a 2-man battle, with Ari having to give best to Hannu.
Do you know how far behind Hannu you are?
1.5 minutes at least.
Are you just maintaining that gap?
Yeah, that's the part. When Hannu doesn't take it seriously, then we can maintain the gap here. When he takes it seriously, you know, then he pulls away. It's just so good.
Good, yes. Brilliant even. And in a Forest Escort, devastating to the opposition. Yet when it comes to opening the champagne, he's a non-starter, despite all the practice.
Here we go. Obviously had a higher up. Now watch yourselves.
And it's not the first time Hannu's done this. I mean, he doesn't know what to do with bottles of champagne. Come on, Hannu! There we go! No!
I was told that there's only one rally driver in England, Roger Clark, in those days. But then there turned out to be a couple of other ones as well. But I should say that in those days, particularly, the standard of rallying, forgetting those few top ones, it wasn't that high in England. So it was relatively easy to get on well. There has been a boost in rallying as far as standard of it is concerned. There are more teams around in England, particularly. In those days it was only Ford and nothing else really. But now we have many other teams, which is of course good for the sport. But on the other hand, the cost of this rallying is really escalating, so it's much harder for private driver.
Some of the finest rally cars of recent years have been built and rebuilt here. From his workshops in West London, David Sutton has developed a thriving international business for producing top-class rally cars. In 1980, he manages the Rothmans rally team.
Okay. David, this is Ari's car, is it, for the RAC, is it?
Yes, this is the actual car I'll be driving.
You've had a very successful year with Ari this year, haven't you?
Well, he's had 8 second places, and we think that it's reliability and consistency that win championships. So we're very satisfied with his results indeed.
In fact, this has got to be one of your best ever seasons.
It's the best year we've ever had in the history of the company, yes. We try and give him everything that he wants. We know the specification that he likes to have, the type of steering wheel he likes, the type of suspension or engine specification he likes. And once he's sat in the car and tested it, he rarely complains at all throughout the event.
What particular things does he like, then? Well, what are his special things you have to do for him?
He's very fussy about the position of his seat because he's very tall and very slim. He's very fussy about the position of the pedals because he's got long legs. And he's very particular about the position of his steering wheel because on some steering wheels, his legs, in fact, do come up behind the steering wheel. But we know the specification that he likes, and sometimes, you know, we can build the car exactly how he wants it without even referring to it.
The Circuit of Ireland, scene of some epic tussles in the past, is about to witness one of the all-time greats. Vatanen versus McRae, Escort versus Chevette, Finn versus Scott.
This is a new HSR Chevette. It has different gearbox, different axle location, and slightly wider arches, which means we can use wider wheels.
I mean, you can go quicker.
Well, I hope so.
A dusty duel in the sun unfolds through the pastoral lanes of Ulster and Eire, spurred on by huge support from every bank, hedgerow and vantage point. Yet despite the pressure, Vatanen still seems to have time to pose for photographers and wave at the crowd, which is all very well and very endearing, but if you're not very careful...
What about the chap who fell in the mud at the gate? Yes, right? Yes, his wife wasn't too pleased, but he's all right. What sort of day have you had, anyway?
Very warm, nice, fast. Losing a little bit to Simo McRae.
Why?
Because he's driving so well. Very well indeed. He's a very good driver, particularly seems to be here in Ireland. And of course, car is up to his capabilities as well.
Psychologically, when there is somebody ahead, does that urge you to go quicker?
I think so. I think it does. You know, it gives you that wee bit, especially when they're running in front. You know, you've got the benefit of knowing that if they've made a mistake, then at least you can slow back. Whereas if they're running behind you, you don't know what they're doing.
This morning you've been consistently taking time off him, have you?
Yes, I think with the exception of 2 stages, we've taken time off him in each one.
When the lead is only 60 seconds, it doesn't really make a difference whether you are leading or it's still the pressure is on both of us all the time. So I cannot really, relax.
Jimmy took 2 seconds off you of that last stretch. Is Ari going flat out?
Well, there's a certain limit you get to, and beyond that limit you're just taking very big chances, and at this minute in time we don't intend to sort of take the very big chances. We're going as flat out as we would like to at this moment. There's not a lot left.
The pressure's on Ari at the moment to stay in front, but I think if we can overtake him, then certainly the pressure will be on me, but I think I'll be confident that we can keep these stage times up.
What's Ari like to be with under a situation like this?
He's very cool, he's very calm about it, and very thinks about things, so nothing's irrational. It's all sort of right, let's not get too worried about it, and no, very sensible.
The duel reaches its climax with the 2 men separated by no more than a handful of seconds. Then, during the final night, Vatanen makes a rare mistake, leaving McRae to cruise home to a well-deserved victory and a familiar sound.
There's been rumours lately that you're beginning to lose interest in rallying. Is this true?
Well, if one journalist writes in one paper that I'm getting disinterested, that's not the end of the world, is it? And but of course, rallying has never been the most important thing in my life. And it's definitely not now.
What is the most important thing then?
In my life, my faith, the God. That's where your life can be grounded, not on rallying.
Ari, at 28, is now a family man. At the age of 27, he married Rita. And on the 7th of May, 1980, the eve of the Welsh Rally, Ari became a father.
It is sad in a way that I have to be so much away from home. But on the other hand, this is really the only work I can do and I'm able to do at the moment. I can't imagine of being in any other kind of job. So I have to sacrifice a little bit for this. But when I get home, I just simply try to spend time with my family, and I want to spend as little time as possible outside of home, really.
The return of the proud father to Wales was accompanied by more than just the usual dust, noise and mayhem of modern rallying. For Ari had brought with him a new determination. Hannu Mikkola was again his biggest threat.
We are fighting with Ari very much, and he's leading a few seconds now.
I was trying to suggest that he would hold these positions till the end of the rally, but Hannu didn't agree. Maybe he's going to have a go at me.
But at the moment you're managing to stay ahead, though, obviously.
Well, 4 seconds is absolutely nothing, but keeps it exciting. stamp with some rules on the road. So I hit it and Hannu hit it, and so we have identical driving lines.
Where was this?
Run down.
If you want to try them,
Go rat now, something like that.
we've got some clear lens if you want to try them later.
Okay. Right.
Driving at the peak of his form once more, it's quite clear that an addition to the family can do wonders for your confidence. And on the Welsh, the tables are turned. Vatanen is in command.
Harry, congratulations.
Thank you.
Fantastic weekend for you. Your wife gives birth to a baby, a girl, now you win the Welsh Rally. How do you feel?
Yeah, well, I mean, anybody can win the Welsh Rally, but to have a 9.5 pound, girl, that's something. Yeah. I have always said that I don't really have, ambitious in a way you mean it. I just want to do my job as well as I can, and if I then, manage to win the rallies, if I manage to win the World Championship one day, I don't mind, they are the side effects, but I take every rally as it comes and I try to do my best at that point of time.
Here we go, folks.
Ari's best will lead him to the top, but he has to consider his path beyond there.
My father was a farmer, and when you are a farmer, you are part of nature, really. You plant your crops and things, and you see them grow, and you cannot really say that how well you want them to grow. You really feel that then the life is in a bigger hand, and when you get the harvest, you really feel satisfied, and that is the sort of work I would like to do later.
Do you think a lot of people are missing a lot out of life then by not having your outlook?
Well, it's I'm not the one to judge anybody else's life, but that's how it has turned out to be in my case. But let's say generally that people miss out if they don't stop to think about life.
Ari consolidates his Welsh victory by winning the rugged Acropolis and then returns for the Scottish.
Ari is in very good mood to drive, and this bad luck he had very long time. I think he has sorted out his driving, and he has got the confidence, so he will be really a difficult man to beat.
Hannu is incredibly difficult to beat, even if we could beat him, and it's more important than the championship situation on this rally for us.
So you're hoping to clinch the championship impact on this event?
Well, I must admit, it would, I could secure it here.
Two events that I was set out to win this year was the circuit and this one, so we've got the circuit over. We're going to try hard for this one.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's a very rough and gruelling event. I think the secret is to be there at the end and try and be in a decent position. I don't think you could drive flat out in this event from start to finish.
With the sheep out of his way, Hannu is in no mood to hang around, and over the ruthlessly sharp flints that abound on Scotland's forest stages, Ari, returned from the euphoria of his first ever World Championship win, is relegated to second. Mikkola is getting his revenge.
Alan's leading, he's just going like a train now, but who's second, I wouldn't like to say. Kulang's going quite quickly. You know, we're going reasonably. Hopefully we're in just about second place.
Someone else going very quickly is Cumbria's Malcolm Wilson, despite problems.
How's it going? We had 2 punches on the last stage and we feel we've broken the front suspension, so we're going to have to change the front suspension.
Very few of those drivers who are really trying escape the carnage of punctures, which each year on this rally provide the tyre companies with as many headaches as they do sales.
You're running 15th car, you know, there's more rocks and things to hit. It's pretty difficult. We had 2 punctures yesterday, which dropped us a minute and a half. We were up to 9th, now we're back to 11th, so it's just one of these things.
The strain of a grueling drive overnight, combined with the after effects of the tough Acropolis rally the previous week, begins to show as Ari arrives at the breakfast halt early on Sunday.
Morning, Ari.
Morning, morning.
What sort of a night have you had?
Slow night.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, driving slowly.
You're still second, though?
Yes, just about. But they're catching up fast, so I don't know how long we will be second.
Why have you been driving slowly?
It's a holiday time for me, not a rallying time.
I see. What's happened down here, Ari?
Mine off. No time lost.
No time lost?
No.
So what's your tactics for the rest of the rally, then?
Well, try to wake up.
Another man who's finding fatigue hard to shake off is Malcolm Wilson, who is nevertheless setting the rally alight with a performance to equal the Finns.
Malcolm, you're looking a bit knackered.
I don't know how you put it.
Pretty tough night, is it?
Yeah, it's been very hard. I don't know why. It seems a lot harder than the Welsh, and we've just done the same amount. I can't understand it.
If the Scottish rally is taking its toll of drivers, then so too is it taking its toll in mechanical terms. Special Stage 21 begins to resemble a parking lot for broken-down rally cars, as first the Saab of Stig Blomqvist expires with a broken drive shaft. And then it's Tim Bryce's turn, as his Escort's engine expires with an air-conditioned block.
The oil pressure's been up and down all day, and unfortunately just coming up the hill there, something's let go in the engine, and that's it, we're out.
Hey, bye!
As Roger Clark's TR7 goes by, Blomqvist's Swedish co-driver Bjorn Waldegaard is acting as part-time traffic warden.
Oh, we can park at least 3 more here.
To win rallies, you've got to get to the end of them, and any driver to win has to have an ultra-reliable car, and we've managed to produce that for him this year.
To start with, I wasn't very interested in driving. I must confess that. I don't know why. Maybe the Acropolis was catching me out now, and but then yesterday I got it going a bit better.
What about today then? You're just going to...
Yeah, cruising along today. I have a nice day now. Pleasant.
Would you have liked to have increased your lead on Ari then, if you could have done?
Not really, but you know, it's 2 minutes, a little bit over 2 minutes. It's just the time what it takes to change the tire. You know, so that's the thing what I have to keep.
The champagne is only just around the corner for Hannu, but as he heads towards another grueling session with the cork, the Rothmans Manx will mark the finale to Vatanen's triumphant year.
Congratulations, Hannu. Another successful Scottish, another successful
50, easy right. 150, flat left over brow.
The Isle of Man hosts a rally different from all the others. The Rothmans Manx is a rally with its own unique code.
50, caution, tightens left, maybe over brow.
On the pace note events, we're allowed to look at the stages beforehand, and we write a very precise series of notes of the stages. The notes describe every single bend, its angle, and then the distance between the bends. So when it comes to the rally itself, it's my responsibility then to read the notes back to Ari in the sort of context of the road as it sort of comes up. Obviously, you're a couple of corners ahead just to anticipate everything that the driver's wanting to know about around the next corner.
Right, left, 50, flat left, 20 right. 50, slippy flat right maybe. 70, flat right, 50, flat left.
The numbers are all the distances, sort of approximate distances in meters, and then everything else is a basic description on left and right, a variable on left and right. So you've got sort of from minus left and hairpin left, which are the very tight corners, right the way through the scale to absolute left, which is absolutely flat out as it sounds.
Absolute left, 150, flat left over brow, 50 brow, 250, double caution, narrow medium left.
It gives me a lot more responsibility instead of sitting there like in the forest where there's not an awful lot I can do. But here on this rally, really, if, for instance, in fog, the driver's literally driving on the instructions from the co-driver. You've almost got hold of the steering wheel.
And K right maybe. 120, left, right.
When you have a professional co-driver, he's not on your way of winning. But if you have a bad co-driver, he can make mistakes and jeopardize good drivers' chances.
This morning it was raining and now it's stopped, so we thought we'd change from intermediate tyres onto slicks. It could be worth a couple of seconds a mile with these tyres against intermediate ones.
Do you prefer wet or dry conditions? Do you have any preference?
I definitely prefer dry, yes.
So it looks like it's drying out then. So
Well, I hope so. That's a gamble we take anyway. So.
And who is going to be the man to beat?
Well, at least this time it's the British one, Tony Bond, definitely. I mean, he will have the edge over the rest of us.
All these guys are very good. It's going to be the man who just gets his act together and happens to be on the right tyres at the right time.
If we get some twisty stages, I think we can beat the TR, but on the open stages is power, we're struggling. But we'll just need to keep our fingers crossed.
We had one carburettor not working properly on the engine the first couple of stages, but the mechanics have sorted it now and it's okay.
We lost, actually even few minutes on stage now. So. Tony Bond caught us on the previous stage. He left 2 minutes behind us, and still he caught us. So we lost 2 minutes on that stage.
How many petrol?
8 gallons.
It's okay. Another couple of minutes, please. Just 2 more minutes.
I think realistically my chances of winning have gone, but still I can give them a bit of stick here.
How's it going this morning for you so far?
Slowly in the middle of the road, little champion. I want a little more power.
Some might not have enough power, but John Weatherly's quite happy.
Never had this power car on a proper tarmac rally. We're going on the safe side of flat out, yes. The dangerous side of flat out comes later.
There are, of course, a number of other ways of attacking a bend. There's the no-nonsense, safety-first, BSM-style three-point turn, as demonstrated here by Mr. Vatanen. Then there's the Godfrey Jones Group 1 approach, not exactly to be recommended. Graham Elsmore employs a bit of West Country brawn, while Godfrey's brother David keeps it neat. Malcolm Patrick takes a leaf out of David Jones' book, but it's left to the Irish to steal the show, as John Lyons proves that a Polish Polonaise can go almost anywhere. Pond in the mighty TR7 dominates the Manx, but Vatanen in his Rothmans Rally Team car is fighting back up through the field.
Do you know how much time you took off Pond on that one?
Well, nearly 20 seconds. But I think he had some incidents maybe.
So you're going to be able to maintain this, do you think?
Well, let's see how it goes. It's very much you know, I drive according to conditions. If it starts raining and, you know, maybe I back off, there's no point in trying too hard. But, you know, when I enjoy driving, then I will have a go.
But you're obviously enjoying it this morning?
Yes, very much so. That was due to incompleted wrecking.
Incomplete wrecking?
Yes. Well, and due to the fact that we were trying a little bit too hard.
What did you hit, in fact?
Well, we demolished one bank.
We don't hit things, we demolish things.
All still okay?
Yes.
Nearly all over now?
Yeah, well, a bit more to do, isn't there?
A couple more stages?
Yes, well, hope it's going to behave itself.
What's the matter? Head from here, so I couldn't get out.
Jimmy McRae is in the process of losing second place to the charging Finn in the Rothmans Escort. The Chevette is a forlorn victim to a series of mechanical mishaps, as depressing as the steadily falling rain.
Jim, what do you have to do on the stage? Do you have to stop on the stage, do you?
Yeah, the car stopped and we had to, we didn't know what it was, changed the ignition pack, then found out that the rotor arm and the distributor had broken up.
But you changed it yourself?
Changed it myself, But the engine, you know, was red hot. And I think we lost around about 6.5 minutes to Tony. And it drops us down now to third place, I think, behind Ari, about 2 minutes behind him.
So after a totally dominant drive, Tony Pond powers on to be Manx Meister once again. A fine result to crowd all those hard weeks of practice. For Ari, a storming climb through the field results in second place. More than good enough to ensure him of his second British title just 5 years after he first arrived in Britain. An unknown and unknowing Finnish youth in a battered Opel. Times have indeed changed.
4 years ago I won my first British Championship, and it is already 4 years ago, and I feel that it was like a yesterday. And you know, that thing and many other things make me to realize how quickly the life goes past, really, here on the earth. And therefore, you know, recently I have realized that it is how wrong it is if for example, if in my life the priority number one was rallying, and you know, I feel there's, you know, I feel that, you know, we are created by God, you know, all the human beings, and you know, we are not only meant to live 70 years, which is very, very short time indeed. We are meant to live in the eternity, and in today's world, in this busy business and in this busy life in nowadays, you know, we very easily we only think about this life, you know, from day by day basis and not any further. And you know, the God and His plan for my life comes first, and let's say marriage comes next, and then comes the rallying. But still, I want to do my rallying as well as I can.